man. This crew called Hoop Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority are all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoop Jargon.
Man, I'm here with my man with Hoop Jargon, the best in the game, man. And you know I only let selected few in my circle. And this is a real dude right here. We gonna get down with the get down.
Shout out to Hoop Jargon, man. There we go. We came out the blocks a little slow, but y'all ate deep. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get it, man. And so it is what's today? Wednesday? Lovely Wednesday morning out here in Monrovia, California. That's where I'm streaming from. And matter of fact, drop where y'all from. It's good to see where everybody else is from. So I can get my times right of when to drop these things and all that good stuff. So appreciate everybody being nice and punctual. That's why I like it. Christopher Bird in the building with the popcorn ready. Yes, sir. 47 in the building, always showing love. Appreciate you. P. Rose in the building. Oh, you know what time it is. P. Rose and Anthony King. Thank you so much. Salute to Hoop Jargon. Thank you. Salute back to you, sir. All right, so I'm gonna walk this dude down slow, man, because I made a video, if y'all remember last week, about Nick Wright and his predictions and how it pertained to the actual Warriors series. You just gonna see this dude. I don't know how he's on TV, man. I don't. So I got my timestamps from that show and him talking. And again, I'm gonna walk him down slow. 713, yes, sir. Grapevine, Texas. Okay, right outside of Dallas. That's what's up. All right, so without further ado, God dog, let's go ahead and get to that beautiful bean footage. All right. Let's see. So we're going to share screen. So we're going to go to the video I made with him speaking in fair use, but Fox always never shows me love. So if you like what I do here, you can hit that super chat. You can hit that Cash App. I will not be mad at you one iota. Matter of fact, let me put my little banner down there before I share the screen. Thank y'all for being with me. I thought I was going on at 8:30. I was like, oh, 8 o'clock. My bad. So thank y'all for staying with your boy. All right, so Chrome tab. Here we go. So the first thing we want to look at is my video, the insight. So you should be able to see that what I'm seeing now. All right, so my first timestamp is going to be here. And we're going to just see. So the first point I have is when Nick, he made the Mavs reference. He was talking about how the Warriors had to beat the Dallas Mavericks, which was it was wrong as the day is long, but I'll let y'all listen and I'll walk y'all through all these. And then I'm going to go with two takes he had yesterday predicting the rest of the series. And man, you're just going to see, man, this dude right here is something else. All right, here we go. Fox always strikes these down, so I won't make a dollar off of it. So again, if you appreciate what I do, y'all can get the Cash App, y'all get the super chat because they're going to strike this. I won't get any recognition off these views that I get off this actual stream. They will strike it.
Just, I had the foresight, the wisdom, the brilliance to pick the Mavs 2 months ago. So why would I change now? The question is how many games? The Warriors, to have any shot in this series, are going to need to be able to come back from the 3-1 deficit because the Mavs are winning tonight. They're winning both of the two in Dallas. It's going to be.
And I got to say, y'all, I'm only on him like I'm on him because it's the logic. The logic that he comes to his conclusions with, it does not make sense at all because he watches box scores, he watches highlights, and he makes these nerdy opinions. And I can't do it. Your boy who can't do it, man.
Be 3-1 going back to San Francisco, and it's not going back to Dallas after that.
Yeah, you're right. It's going to the next round.
Except for the NBA Finals. Mavs in 5. And here's why.
Because to predict that's pretty bold. I got to say that's bold to predict the Mavs in 5, man. And shout out to everybody. We 13 deep in here, man. Y'all drop y'all location, man. Tell me what's going on. Tell me where you're representing.
Is 8.
Again, now, as bad as those as he led in with it, it's a horrible lead. So if y'all don't know, I'm listening to myself talk about Nick Wright last week when he made the predictions about how this series would go. And he was not only was he wrong about the Warriors versus Mavericks series, way wrong. He's been wrong about the Warriors and how they're going to beat the Celtics. And I'm going to walk it down slow. So y'all put y'all patience caps on. I got you. But I'm just going to set backdrop and like this dude just makes stuff up. That is horrible, man. Unless you know the powers that be and you got some inside information, This dude was wrong on every talking point. So again, it's not the fact that you're wrong about the prediction. It's the logic. That just makes no sense, man. And Chris Proof in the building. Shout out to my man Third, man, representing that H-Town, man. That's a good brother right there, man. Salute, man. Says, yo, what up, what up, what up? Logan says, oh, shout out about my ace between the game sports as well, man. I'm tripping. Remember us when we famous, man. I'm trying, dog. I got y'all, man. Christopher Burton says, as we can see Roger Mayweather voice, most people know shit about basketball. There you go. There you go. There you go. That was a great quote, by the way, Chris. That was a great timing. Let's keep going with this horrible. Let me hear you out, Nick. What's your reasoning?
Terrible matchup for Golden State. I'll tell you, I bet you Golden State, home court be damned, was rooting for Phoenix. They watched Dallas beat them 3 out of 4 times this year.
Oh, I got to say this. I got to keep stopping them. Everybody knows Golden State plays with their food, man. Everybody knows me. Y'all got to make me sound like a Golden State fan because I'm really not. But I appreciate good basketball. I just do. They play. I still stand on that. I appreciate good basketball. I don't care who you are. You play the basketball the right way. I'm going to be a fan of what you do, not necessarily a fan of your team. Basketball the right way. So to relegate your commentary off regular season results, you know that teams with a pedigree like this, you know they know how to turn it on. You know they sleepwalking through the season. Like, come on, man.
They watch Steph.
And salute to see, we are 19 deep. Y'all hit the like button, man. It gets more people in. Thank y'all so much for coming nice and punctual. I might start doing these early. I see y'all more receptive to these early. That's what's up. This gives me good feedback, so I appreciate y'all. Real talk. Nick Wright is the biggest LeBron leader, goofy all the time. I mean, you know what time it is on that. Prime time, always showing love to the channel. Appreciate you. Good morning, brother D. I love Jackson State University. Wars all the way. I hear it. P. Rose representing that Nashville. It yeah, legit. Yeah, I guess. Whatever you talking about, bro, it's legit. This channel legit.
Steph's single worst opponent this season was Dallas. Steph against Dallas this year, 20 points on 39% from the field, 29% from 3, and so physically beaten down. Steph Curry, 67% from the free throw line in 4 games against Dallas this year.
Funny you say that because your Lord and Savior, LeBron James, does that all the time, shooting 60%, 69% and lower from the free throw line. And you just omit that all the good old time. So that's hilarious that you're using that as a talking point. And as I go to the next thumbnail I got, it's just true. His Lord and Savior, LeBron James, is always shooting bad percentages from the free throw line. And Nick Wright has no smoke for him in that regard. And I just find that funny that you're trying to bring that up about Steph, who we know is a all-time great shooter. Like, so, and he's bringing up, again, and this is what nerds do. Nerds bring up regular season matchups and think that pertains to an actual series. When you're playing sporadically, especially when you're on different conferences, you're preparing for so many teams in between those games. But when you're actually playing a series, you're tweaking, preparing. You got so much game film. You got so much applied knowledge in a short space that it makes the series tougher to win. So him saying that the Mavericks winning back then, that has nothing to do with it. That's nothing to do with the regular season, man, because they're inexperienced. We know that, right? So, bro, I see the reason NBA grades all this. Somebody put Luka Doncic, the 20 greatest player of all time. Yeah, man, I like Luka Doncic. I was one of the first people to say that Luka Doncic was going to be good. So I'm not that guy hating on Luka. But, like, y'all be just rewarding people too goddamn quick. Another person who I like is Jason Tatum. I said, he ain't no damn superstar yet, and he's showing he's not. He still got a way to go. But, you know, let's continue because this dude say so much crazy stuff before I get to this new stuff he said. This great prediction. So in 5 games, the infinite wisdom of Nick Wright said he has to score 25 a game. Jordan Poole scored. Yeah, so Nick Wright, yeah, he said that Jordan Poole had to go for 25 a game to beat the Mavericks. He scored 16.4 points a game. 16.4 points a game. Good enough for the 4th highest scorer on the team. So in his opinion, Steph had to go off because, well, Steph wasn't going to get that freedom. And then Jordan Poole had to just play out of his mind. He did not, because this team plays as a team. When you play as a team, you don't need gaudy stats because they come, ready for the word, organically. When your points come organically, you don't need gaudy stats. You need organic basketball play, meaning in moment, anybody can go off because you play basketball the right way. That's what happens in those scenarios. And people get so caught up in these numbers And like you don't understand that basketball has an organic flow to it. And when you play at a very high level, you put yourself in position to win. Okay, you said the volume's a little down, so that's as high as it goes. But what I was saying basically is Nick Wright tries to predict these points from these guys. And like he tries to go and like predict, like, oh, well, Jordan Poole has to go for 25 and Clay has to have the season of his life because he, in his mind, he's counting up numbers from players to have a final score. What he doesn't account for is that the way the Warriors are built, man, Wiggins can step up and drop 25, which we've seen him recently do. Hell, Otto Porter can step up and give you 15. Steph can give you 40. You know what I mean? And Draymond can mess around with a good game and give you 12, and Kevon Looney chip in 10. They can get to that number. It's not up to you to predict how they do it because they play more or less an amoeba style where, yeah, it's predicated through Steph, but I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be Steph, as we've seen that to be so. Games, and you don't need gaudy stats. Let me let him finish this bullshit.
To be a break-even player, Luke is going to pick him out and torture him. What I said jokingly, Phoenix was doing unfairly to Luka. That's what Jordan Poole's about to deal with. And by the way, his offense has fallen off a cliff the last 3 games anyway, because contrary to the opening of the playoffs, Jordan Poole is not already a top 20 player in this league.
But that's the thing, though. They don't need him to be that. You got 3 guys on the team better than him, arguably Wiggins. Almost 4 guys better than him. He doesn't have to be that. Y'all just get so enraptured. And again, this is me talking 9 days ago, as a matter of fact, about this. So I said this before the series started. And as you see, Andrew Wiggins is stepping up, arguably more than Jordan Poole. Well, no, it is more than Jordan Poole. He's actually number 3 on the All-Star. I'm sorry, the what they call that list, the Finals MVP consideration. So, I mean, come on. I'm not saying I read crystal balls or anything like that. I'm not saying I'm Nostradamus, but excuse me. But it's not hard to pick up on basketball if you watch a team actually play. Raptured when guys put these good games together. And in my opinion, that's why all of y'all say these guys are superstars too quick. Because when you put a string of good games together, you hold these guys to next level standards when they're just, man, basketball, man, the best thing I ever heard about basketball is a game of runs. It's a game of runs, man. And some people can run longer than others. And so when you acting like Jordan Poole is the next coming on this team, you're just being disingenuous. You're being disingenuous, man.
This is a brutal matchup for Golden State. They're going to need Steph to have the best playoff series of his career for them to win this series. That's not going to happen.
That's a great point. You don't mention Luka. So yes, again, Nick Wright he stands 10 toes down in the worst stances, man. Steph did not have the best career of his life, not even close to it, and they beat him in a gentleman's sweep, which is 5 games to none. I'm sorry, 5 games to 1. Again, I'm not mad at you being wrong. It's just the logic. And then he walks it back like he never said these things. And your boy Hoop Jordan came, I can't get down like that. So, all right. So our next talking point we're going to go to. So he's going to talk about the series right before. This is last week. And again, I'm not Johnny come lately on these takes, man. I really get ahead of these because I can see basketball for what it is. Not saying I'm always right, but my logic, I walk it out in a way that basketball players play basketball.
Everyone wants to have a big game on the big stage, but does Steph Curry need to have his best finals performance for the Warriors to win this title?
I'm gonna say last series showed absolutely not. You don't have to have Steph going off. He's averaged like 25 last series. And this is gonna be funny how this goes. And she just asked, does he have to have the best career series of his career? And I just said absolutely not. Which was just literally happened last series with the Mavericks when Nick said he had to. So it's just going to be funny how my words segue into Nick's watch. Absolutely not. Well, let's see what Nick Wright says.
Absolutely.
Shocker. Shocker, because he only knows basketball through numbers. So you thinking, again, that's the way he thinks sports, is with these gaudy numbers and narratives. He doesn't think what actual basketball is. But let me shut up.
And I think he will. Listen, I think right now.
And I got to say this too. He only thinks basketball in numbers and narrative. Like the narrative has to fit whatever his overall little ideology is. And what you'll see, all this is just kind of trying to box Steph Curry in a box so he can elevate LeBron. That's all he's doing. And he'll take the long way home. He'll take the long way home. He'll wait till the whole series plays out. Well, Steph Curry won this, but LeBron had 86 and 7 and 75. And then That's all he does. It's all he's doing is posturing for his long game. It's like a long con. So that's why his takes are so bad, because it has to fit his overarching narrative, which is LeBron being the greatest. That dude is not slick, man. I know what he's doing, man.
The Warriors' overall offense is slightly overrated by the general public. Jordan Poole has cooled off considerably.
They don't need him to be a scorer like that, dude. Do you not learn your lesson from last series?
After the hot start to the playoffs, he's 14 points per game over his last 7 playoff games. Klay Thompson,
he's your 5th best player. What is wrong with that?
Is averaging 1 really good game a series.
That's all they need from the team like that. Smart guy. And I'm saying all this before game 1. And somebody tell me if I'm lying. Is that not how the series been playing out? Where guys have been chipping in, where you getting great efforts, here and there. Is that not how this series been playing out?
This postseason. Draymond Green, here's a fun stat, Brew. The last time Draymond Green, who, by the way, has scored, let me just check, more than 10 points twice in the last 2 rounds. The last time Draymond Green scored more than 21 points in a playoff game was the Game 7 against the Cavs in 2016.
Guess what? They don't need him to score like that, genius. They don't need Draymond Green to score. They need him to facilitate and defend. And everything they get on top of that is cake.
So where's the offense?
Somebody pointed out, has Draymond even scored over 10 in the series? Somebody pointed out. Somebody do the research for me. You don't need Draymond Green to score to win, man. God, man, this dude, he get me going, man. I ain't gonna lie. He get me tight, man.
Offense coming from. And Kevon Looney against this Celtics front line is not going to look like a modern-day Mark Eaton the way he did against the Mavericks. So where's the offense coming from, Brew? The answer is Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry has to have his best finals, and I think he will have his best finals. I think we have seen.
Now listen, man, I'm not saying Steph don't need to step up and do his thing, but this goes into my theory of saying already that they've been playing with their food ready for this being the apex of their season. So I expect Steph to step up. I'm not absolving him from having to do that. But what I've always preached is that that's not how the Warriors are. They're not all offensive busts. They don't need these gaudy numbers from their guys. They just need organic play flow. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Otto Porter stepped up and did his thing this series. I wouldn't be surprised if your boy Wiggins stepped up and blew up this series. Hey, and so far, again, I said this before the series started. Has Andrew Wiggins not been stepping up and blowing up so far? Because that's how they play. They go off what you give them. They dance to the music. And guys like this who never play basketball, they don't understand that. They just go like, well, the numbers got to match up here because the average is 120 points a game. And so who's going to score the 120 points a game? Well, hell, Kevon Looney can have a crazy 20-point game one game. As we saw, he had that game 5 finish with 10 points, 18 rebounds. And I'm sure nobody pegged him for that before the series, right? Or before that game, for that matter. That's just what happens with organic basketball. You get results based on the production, and it doesn't always have to match up with this narrative you got in your mind.
Steph in the most recent finals averaged 30 or close to 30 a game.
Okay, so and as you see, I'm slowly walking this dude down because, again, he only knows basketball and narratives. So when you keep telling the narrative, you got to keep it succinct of what you said earlier, which again, overarchingly is to criticize LeBron. I mean, to elevate LeBron. That's what he's doing. Again, he takes the long way home on these. I gotta give him credit. At least he sticks to his guns. Wrong as it's been. He sticks to his guns. Shout out to Grab God Reload in the building. Chris Burton says Jordan Poole didn't cool off. Steph is now, so Poole getting less going opportunity. Yeah. Again, they play organically. They don't need this everybody go off every night. That's not how they play. Mirroring their sentiments, and it leads to very poor evaluations of basketball.
Offense has had the highest efficiency in the playoffs, 116, and that's not all based on the Denver series. All right, they got plenty.
And I had to throw in Chris Broussard in because he ain't my favorite analyst, but he knows a lot more damn basketball than Nick, man. So I had to have him come in and kind of crystallize some of the talking points I was saying about them. And you're going to see him get them again this next clip.
Scores, and I think it's going to be a big adjustment for Boston, which against Brooklyn, you had to worry about 2 big scores, Durant and Kyrie.
Absolutely.
And they did it mainly off of ISO. That offense.
Yes. So basically what Chris Broussard is saying is easier to defend a more predictable offense because you know it's going through KD and Kyrie, even though those guys individually are better than most of the Golden State Warriors roster, probably all their roster, except Steph. But it's easier to defend because it's more predictable. When you have more of an organic offense, like you said, strength in numbers. You have to account for a lot more scenarios, and it's harder to guard. It just is. It's harder to. Was I lying? Is the series not showing to be so? Guard when you have to account for more scenarios.
It was unimaginative. It was a lot easier to defend, even though they had.
And let's not talk about the coaching disparity between Steve Curry and goddamn Steve Nash. Like, come on, man. What are we talking about here?
2 great scores. Then Milwaukee, you had
Yeah, and then I didn't give myself credit for that one. I mean, I'm not trying to self-aggrandize myself, but yeah, game 2, Mavs gave you 20. Like he can sporadically give you them kind of games, man. When you play the right way, you get yourself easy, doggone buckets. Oh, let's see.
Giannis to worry about as a big-time scorer. Miami, you had Jimmy Butler. Now, I look, I disagree with you. You got Steph. I still think Clay is incredibly dangerous. You got Jordan Poole. Those guys are all averaging 18 plus in the playoffs. And you keep forgetting my boy.
Your boy Wild look drunk as hell. You like he had a rough night.
I'd have thought you learn your lesson.
Like,
Andrew Wiggins can give you big offense.
Hey, Chris, we saw it on point, just like I was. Andrew Wiggins can give you big minutes and big numbers.
15 points. I'll take it though. But any given night, he can give you 20 plus. All right, so I think that Steph won't have to be 30 points a game.
Thank you, sir.
I think he will. Nick, I'll give you this. I do think he has to have some big.
And look how Nick is. It's like he's just learning like the lesson of his life. How is that interesting when you just saw last series that Steph was not had to be that guy? You just saw that with your prediction that Steph had to go off. You just saw that Steph does not have to go and put up these crazy numbers. You literally just saw it. And again, this is indicative of Nick Wright. You just saw a series play out exact opposite of what you said. And you just don't want to hear it, man. It's just kind of like stubborn kid, man. You tell them like to don't touch the stove, and they touched it, but like, oh no, it won't be hot. It won't be hot this next time. I know it. You go touch the stove again, it's still hot. You know what I mean? It just that's the kind of dude he is. That's why it's really hard for me to take him serious, man. It really is hard for me to take him serious because, as I said, he's a herb, man. He's just a herb. Rap guy, no, she hasn't not done my outro yet, but now. I don't understand. Why is this groundbreaking information for you? I don't get it. You just saw that. So why wouldn't that apply to this series as well, man?
Impact moments. You talked yesterday about those are kind of lacking from his finals resume. And I agree. And I think during this series, he will have some of those moments. Might not be a game-winning shot, but it could be a big 3 to slow down the Boston rally.
Okay, I think y'all got the point. Okay. So as y'all see, this is the backdrop I was setting, and I want to show you what he said yesterday, because it's just like, dog, you just never learn your lesson. So again, we're gonna slow walk this down. So I'm gonna share screen to what was one of the subject matters of yesterday, and the name of the video was "Steph Curry has a rare off night and Warriors cash steps up." So let's go ahead and cue that up so we can just see. He just refuses to get it, man. Without. He just refuses to get it.
Because listen, before the series began, one of the reasons I said I was picking Golden State was because unlike a banged up Milwaukee team and unlike a banged up Miami Heat team, the Warriors had several scoring options. You poo-pooed it. You said I was crazy. You said I was living in the past. You said I was a lunatic, but I was right.
That's true.
Klay Thompson last night, 21 points. I don't know where this notion, and it's not just you, Nick, but this notion out there that Klay is washed. Klay Thompson hit 5 3-pointers last night, 21 points, as I said. But more than that, this entire postseason, his numbers are exactly the same as they have.
Man, hey, your boy Chris came with the ether, dog. He came heavy-handed with the ether. Look at this, man. You know, who Klay was, essentially washed up, according to your boy Nick Wright, having the same playoff that he normally has. Again, he only deals in narrative, not reality. So I'll let Chris continue cooking him.
Have been throughout his postseason career. Look at, I mean, almost identical. So, and he's got, Nick, 4 games this whole playoff run where he scored fewer than 15 points. The only postseason in which he did that or better was 2016. That's it. Every other postseason run during their championship march, he has had more games where he scored less than 15 points than this season. So he's always been a bit up and down in the playoffs, but Clay is still Clay. Andrew Wiggins, Nick, you know, I'm not going to beat you over the head with it, but you know I like this move from the get-go. Andrew Wiggins is a legitimate 20-point scorer.
And I said this too, man. I said that he is an upgrade from Harrison Barnes. I mean, obviously not from Kevin Durant, but Harrison Barnes, like, this is a clear and outright upgrade. It just took him time to matriculate into the system. And I said this back in my video, almost 2 years ago, where the Golden State Warriors done. Is it time to blow it up? I said this a long time ago, man. And so now he's got his legs up under him, so to speak. And he looks like a damn thoroughbred now, playing with the Warriors for the cheap.
He just doesn't have that, you know, I got to be the number one guy type of ego, which is great because you got number one, number two type talent, but you're willing to play a role and fit in. And as the third or fourth scorer, he's phenomenal in Golden State. And he's always had every single physical attribute you would need to
That's facts.
be a great defender on the wing. And that's what he's become as a role player in Golden State. And then Jordan Poole, the fourth scorer on the team. Jordan Poole was big last night. We know he hit the 2 big threes at the end of the third quarter. And 2 of them in the last minute, 20 seconds, both gave them the lead. This one obviously was huge. And not really completely luck. Obviously, there's a lot of luck there. But remember, he did a similar thing earlier in the
skip
playoffs.
ahead a little bit.
So I'm just saying, like, he works on that type.
Oh, actually, about to make a great point.
Now, there's this notion that Poole has fallen off.
He doesn't work on off the backboard.
Look at this.
And this just goes to his original point that he needed Poole to play out his mind. You remember Nick said he needed to average 25 against the Mavericks. His points have gone down every series. And again, with my overarching point, you don't need everybody going off. You don't need it. They play good basketball overall. Wiggins is a better player than Tatum overall. Overall, I may meet you there. I may meet you there. Only because Wiggins has had a phenomenal playoffs. I think before his playoffs, that would be a laughable notion. Shout out to Flight Sports TV in the building. Y'all go sub to my boy.
Look at this. You guys are bitter because your team's falling off, but still, look at this. His numbers have gone down as his role changed. And
again, look at this dumb look on his face. He got the hand out like he's making something like a man. My vocabulary is not here early in the morning. Like he's making like a poignant point, or like it's almost like a no dub kind of looky on his face. He's talking about, well, he's falling off. Like, and see again, this is how he understands basketball. Numbers. He says he's falling off. His numbers are going down, and the priority of the older guys has gone up. So he has a smaller role. They don't need him to start anymore. They need him to be able to come in with that fire off the bench, and when the score gets a little stagnated, him come in and give that offense, that instant offense. That's what his role is. You see, wouldn't that make Jaylen Brown a role player? Wiggins and Brown the same stats. Brown, I think he's leading his team, and I think his role is bigger than Wiggins, and I think he has more of that alpha in him. So I don't compare numbers to numbers like that. I compare your role, what you bring to the team dynamic, and things of that nature. So I don't just go off numbers. That's why I'm saying why Nick Wright, he walks in so many proverbial piles of doo-doo because all he looks at is numbers.
And his minutes, because of the minutes, Nick. He was starting all the first series he started. He started 51 games this season. The minutes have fallen because Steph is fully healthy and Clay is fully healthy. But he's scoring at the same rate. Look at the numbers.
Okay, but Brew, his minutes have also fallen because Kerr has been afraid to play him because he's a turnstile on defense, and his
That part I do agree with. He's a little bit of a turnstile on defense.
shooting percentage has plummeted since round one. But I don't want to talk about any of that. I don't want to
Of course you don't, because you can't explain it.
talk about Clay. The Clay numbers were very compelling, by the way. Good job by you there. I don't want to talk about Andrew Wiggins because, my God, have I not given my 3 pounds of flesh to Andrew Wiggins yet? I think I have. And I don't talk about Jordan Poole because you're out here arguing he practices banked in 35-footers.
That's not what he was saying, man. He's saying he practiced that shooting from that length, and then he's doing that in college, man.
And I don't think
I
he
didn't
does.
say banked.
He might practice end of. Well, that's what made
He
it luck.
practices
Brew.
35
The
foot.
reason we thought
He
it was
practices
luck
30. I
was
said there was a lot of luck.
Again, Nick Wright don't understand basketball. Nobody can practice a 35-foot bank shot. But when you know the trajectory of a 35-foot shot, you leave yourself for circumstance to benefit you because you know how it feels to shoot from that distance. That's all he's saying, man. Goodness gracious.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with that. Okay. I want to talk about Steph, though, because, yes, I am shocked. And Wild, you know, one of the reasons I was shocked is because I was told this wasn't possible, not by Brew, but by no.
Hey, watch him start deflecting now. He's this dude, right? I'll give him his credit, man. He's good at what he does. It's just when you have an acute eye to what people do and people say and what they are, you can see through bullshit easy. This dude is full of bullshit, man.
None other than I esteemed friend of the show, great guy, Jeff Van Gundy, who during Game 4 compared what Steph Curry was doing with these Warriors to LeBron in 2018 with that ragtag Cavs team. And then
What I tell y'all? I told you I'm gonna slow walk this down. He is literally, this whole thing has to do with how Steph Curry compares to LeBron, so he can put it in his little nerd memory banks and bring this up next year. Because either good or bad, he's going to compare what Steph has done in the finals compared to LeBron to elevate LeBron. I tell you, this dude he's an easy read, man.
Brew the next day took it a step further to compared it to Michael Jordan's flu game and Isaiah Thomas on a sprained ankle coming within 1 point of beating Magic, Kareem, and Worthy. And this is my frustration because Steph Curry was really bad last night. That's not shocking. Steph's been really bad 5 times in his finals career. 5 separate games he has been last night or worse. And it's also not shocking they won. They're now
If you shop on Amazon,
right,
you should use this tool. It's a browser extension that
here we go.
3-2. What is shocking to me, and maybe it shouldn't be, is that we continue to have this little carve out where Steph being an all-timer is not enough. We must embellish it. We must lie about what we're seeing. And you saw it, comparing Steph Curry carrying these Warriors in Game 4 to Iverson in 01.
So he's gonna try to divert a little bit and use other guys, but you know who he's talking about. You know what he's trying to save that narrative up for. Because when the content gets boring during the summertime, when there's no sports, well, past the finals, let me say that, you better bet your bottom dollar he's gonna lament back to this and start talking about you know who, his Lord and Savior.
Or LeBron in 18, as was done during the broadcast.
Oh, never mind. He went straight to it. Said, notice Nick Wrong has hatred for Kobe Bryant, never acknowledged his greatness. Yeah, well, because again, he tells things through narrative. And through his narrative, his Lord and Savior, LeBron James, is the only thing worth mentioning. So everything that he talks about is in comparison to LeBron. So that's why he has the takes he has, because he has to be able to spin it all back. He's like a little chipmunk saving nuts up for the winter. He'll do those little small things, and so he can build an argument back up to go and talk about the only thing he really knows about, which is LeBron James, which he half-ass even knows about that. But he knows about the numbers because LeBron's career is very numbers conducive. So stat nerds like this, you know, that's a great guy to cover because that's all you can do. Talk about stats all day. Nick slowly becoming a LeBron fan versus Skip Bayless. That's not good territory. Absolutely. Cole on Sticks in the building says, yo, I'm late out here, but what's up, Cliff? Yeah, man. Y'all go sub to my boy Cole on Sticks, man. He plays those retro games like NCAA, and he does his thing, man.
Is laughable, as proven by last night. Hey, Steph can be terrible and they can win. they can
because they play organically. Like I said many videos ago, and again, he won't let go of this premise that it has to be a narrative-driven situation. So he can't wrap his mind around the fact that Steph Curry is so good and he's so selfless that he can let other people go and still be at the catalyst of that offense. That doesn't compute to him.
win going away with Steph having the first playoff game of his career where he doesn't hit a three-pointer. It's just, and you laughed, but I'm not kidding. If you don't think between today and game 6, all of a sudden listen, I'm not sure, what percent Steph's ankle and foot are. If you don't think that.
All right, so I'm going to get off that. He goes into, so again, he talks around basketball because he can't talk about the actual hoop. And that's the part that I got the biggest problem. And I'm going to go one more little small segment, y'all, when they talk about Draymond Green stepping up for the Warriors. So I'm going to add this last little piece to that just to kind of make my thesis all the way laid out. That it's funny that how he sees basketball because it's not from the way that people who actually play basketball see basketball. Rabbi, I'm going to get your comment in just a moment. All right, so the last one, Draymond Green steps up. All right, so before we get in this last little segment, Rep God says Steph and KD are threats to his phase legacy. Absolutely they are. Absolutely they are. And so whenever they come up short, he's gonna throw a lot of pizzazz on it to make sure that you don't compare them to his Lord and Savior, LeBron James.
Exactly right. Remember the famous Michael Jordan quote, "The ceiling is the roof"? If either of my colleagues argue,
look at Chris Broussard's face. That's got to be rough working with this dude. That's got to be rough working with this dude, man. Just his normal foolishness, man.
Draymond Green should be happy or played a good game, then the bar is the floor. If we are now to the level where Draymond Green can play halfway decent for one half of basketball, and then in the second half have 0 points, 4 fouls, and a total on-court temper tantrum that forces Steve Kerr to use a challenge and a timeout because Draymond might literally fight him as he almost did 6 years ago, and then lose the challenge, lose the timeout, and see Draymond foul out for the third time this series, marking another guy from that great 90s era of basketball, Dale Davis, the last one to do that. I remember the Davis brothers. Oh, man, can you believe Jordan got through those?
See, I'm telling you, he only tells basketball through the narrative to elevate LeBron James because now he's trying to kind of backdoor insult Michael Jordan for going up against the Pacers as if there was no competition because he wants to spin it back to his Lord and Savior LeBron James.
Pacers teams, but they had not one but 2 Davises, Antonio and Dale. Oh my God, how could you have done it? And they had a giant Dutch dude.
See, and look at the faces. He's trying to be funny, but it's like when you hear the dude say that bullshit enough time, like, dog, stop, man. Look at the faces. Now she's kind of just in her own little mode, but these two dudes are just like, come on, man. Why do you have to tie LeBron to everything you do and say? Why can't you just get to your point?
Neither here nor there. If either one of you guys are going to argue that Mr. Triple Single.
See, this is the reason why your boy Hoop Jargon can never be on TV, man. I would be so disgusted, man. I would let Nick have it, man. But one of the things you got to have is a whole bunch of decorum, man. And you got to be able to, like, with a dude who you may behind the scenes think is an idiot, you have to talk him up because he's your colleague. And I ain't gonna lie, I would struggle greatly with that. When somebody was on my panel not knowing what the hell they talking about.
Having another triple single while fouling out should be happy about this. Then God knows that when he comes up for the Hall of Fame, you won't be voting for him because he's now to a point in what should still be the prime of his career where it's like, wow, Draymond, 8 points?
Uh-oh, numbers McGinnis over here. Numbers McGee. Numbers.
Good job, buddy.
Okay.
Great. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it.
I get it, Nick. I get it. You're in a bad spot. All right. You flip-flop. You should have.
There you go, Chris. Go on, walk him down, man.
Stuck with the Warriors. Now you're upset.
I don't know.
You turned the first segment into a tribute to LeBron James. Now you.
What I tell y'all, man, I didn't even catch the first segment, but What did I tell you?
You're destroying Draymond Green. Look, here's the deal. He should be pleased. Number one, they won. They're one victory away.
Thank you. That's the whole point of this guy. You win games, not to have gaudy stats to brag about what kind of series you had, is to win.
Away from the finals. They won.
That's
He should be happy with that.
The question
Number
is his
two,
performance.
they won. Number two, yes, he should be happy. He played fine. Was he Kevin Durant? No. Was he vintage Draymond Green? No. But he was fine. 8-6 is what he's done this whole season. That's what he's done. All right. And look at the passes he made. He was critical to them taking the lead in the first half. Starts the game with that. That is a great pass. If you don't think that's a great pass, I don't know what to tell you. All right. And then this right here, same thing in transition, third quarter.
But again, you can't explain those kind of things to Nick Wright because he watches the game in fragments. Or let me say this, man, this is a good quote I heard not too long ago. Some people watch ball, some people watch the ball. So by what that means is basically some people just watch the whole game in its own entirety. Oh, he scored. Oh, he scored. Oh, good pass. Oh, good layup. Oh, good dunk. Some people be like, they watch the game, and the game is like, damn, that was a good play call in that situation. Like, wow, dang, that was good defense. That was a good switch up top. Man, that was a good hedge on that pick and roll there. That's how people who watch ball watch basketball. And Nick Wright has always struck me as the latter of the two. Well, I'm sorry, the former of the two. And that's what that's what Chris Broussard is trying to explain to him.
Gary Trent, I could go a number of like two other of his assists, which were outstanding passes.
What are we short on
and
footage?
Then defensively, he held the Celtics when he was the primary defender, according to ESPN, to one.
I like that comment. Stan Miles said 33 years in prime of your career. I'll take a triple single all day. And so Steph Curry is also 30. Well, I think he's 34. That 33 can be the prime of your career. We're seeing guys now where it's not. I think Russell Westbrook is 33, and he's definitely not in his prime anymore. James Harden, I think, is 33. He's not in the prime no more. So it's just a disingenuous comparison, man. It just is.
Of 10 shooting. 1 of 10. Jaylen Brown, you wonder, where was Jaylen Brown? We ripping Jason Tatum. Where was Jaylen Brown? Well, when Draymond was guarding him, he was 1 for 6. So it's...
Again, you cannot tell that to a stat boy because people who watch basketball can say, damn, when they put Draymond on him, shit, he wasn't doing nothing. But if you're just watching the up and down, the back and forth, those little idiosyncrasies, you tend to miss those because you're just watching the ball.
It's not, Draymond's never been measured by numbers. You can keep
Facts.
Throwing out the triple single and all that. He had an impact.
Look at Nick's face, man. It's just everything is just mind blowing when you just take the numbers aspect out of sports. Take narrative and numbers out. This dude got nothing for you.
In that game, defensively, playmaking wise, and his energy was critical. Draymond Green should absolutely be fine with what he did last night. He can get better, but he played a very...
Look at him. He only knows things through number and narrative. That's it. He cannot compute the organic aspect of basketball. It means nothing to him.
Very good game. I'm sorry. I don't know what you looking at. I'm sorry.
What's happening
one
with
of
Wild?
the weird things about TV and these earpieces is it's kind of gross, but sometimes some earwax gets in here and it clogs the canal and you can't hear. So I thought I was checking if that happened to me because I haven't heard anyone say, Wilds, you were right. So I think it's an earpiece issue, Nick. You laughed at me yesterday when I said, you know what Steve Kerr should do? Run an action for Draymond. It happened. Get Draymond a dunk. It happened. Get Draymond a 3. It happened. Didn't go in, but they were running plays because Steve Kerr.
And again, so a dude who don't know basketball, Wiles make a great point. What you do is you keep your players happy. You keep them engaged. So what Wiles was saying that you give Draymond some action to get his head into the game, to get him in a point where he doesn't have to get himself up by doing dumb shit. He gets himself up by actually being active. That's what Wiles is alluding to. But to Nick Wright, again, if you never played, you don't understand that. And watch his retort to this. It's going to be a horrible one. Let's see. Basketball prime years from 26, 27 to 33. Yeah, so and it's usually on the young part of 33, not the back part. Trey Carter, salute Trey Carter in the building. Says Nick Wright take on Andrew Wiggins aged horribly. Oh, yes, it has, sir. That's facts. That is aged horribly, man. Y'all hit that like button, man. You know, we're about to end the stream, but y'all hit that like button. Appreciate y'all patronizing what I do, man. Means a lot.
Understands the emotional health of the players.
If you've ever played, you know that some dudes, they start to pout if they don't get their way early. And you got to know that. That's why good point guards know to get a ball up to certain guys early to get them going. Because if dudes don't touch it, a few trips up, they may start slipping a little bit on defense. They may start kind of, you got to know your guys. And the coach is, you know, obviously the curator of the whole thing. So you got to know the temperament of your guys. You got to know when your dude is kind of mentally in the dumps. Let me get him going to get him up so he has good mojo the whole game. But again, this is stuff you can't teach stat nerds.
On the court too. It's like, man, you're down. Your confidence is a little low. I got to boost you up. Played well. That was a good game from Draymond that the Celtics now had to. Celtics had.
Los certificados de carrera de Google ofrecen capacitación para trabajos con alta demanda.
Come on, commercial.
Had to worry about him a little bit. They were worrying about him zero.
A little bit.
I disagree that it worked.
Oh my God. They won the game in this individual here says that he disagreed that strategy works. Make it make sense, man. Niggas like the kid that doesn't watch the games, only get the stats the next day. Oh, of course. And watches he watches the highlights on YouTube.
Yeah, listen, the idea that got Draymond going, like 0 is the number of shots he took in the second half. 0 is the number of points he scored in the second half. And
He said get him going, not complete the entire game with that approach. Get him going. Get him going as in he'll be more apt to lock in later because you got his mojo going early.
Understand that he is not a guy that is measured purely by the box score. And I thought
was. I tell you, hey, in real life, Chris Broussard does not like this guy as far as his sports take. They're probably cool. I'm sure Nick Wright's probably a cool guy to be around. He's probably one of them dudes you can get to do anything. But as far as on the stage, look, you know what that dude, you like is, and the reason why is like I laid out in the stream, man, the whole time. He was just letting them know, like, dude, numbers ain't everything. And now Nick said, well, I understand that Draymond is not to be measured by stats. Like, he's like, do you? Like, his W says is succinct with that take.
Because you keep bringing up stats.
There you go.
That's all you keep bringing up are stats. Do you understand that?
See, I think Hoop Dog can be tripping, man. Me and Chris Broussard and Kendrick Spears, man, like we've done this the same thing the whole way through, man. I'm just a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? And I said this stuff before I even known what Chris Broussard is even saying, because if you know basketball, it's an easy argument to make.
Brew, I do understand that. I also think that Draymond Green is a future Hall of Famer who called himself the greatest defensive player ever. And we are treating him like a charity case.
So you're treating a defensive player off of offensive stats. Make it make sense, Nick Wright.
And they were like, hey, you didn't airball any layups this game. You think that Draymond Green thinks he played really well? You think Draymond, again, this is where yesterday
really well.
He said they won. He said that the stuff they did, it worked and they won.
They won the game.
Thank you.
And he played well. That's what he should be, and he should be pleased with that.
Okay, listen. I am Jenna. I'm a hater, along with it's just me and Draymond's own mother who thinks he's been terrible these finals.
Who gives a shit what Draymond Green mother thinks? Who gives a shit? You a damn sports analyst, man. It's supposed to be your opinion. Who gives a shit what she thinks?
And yesterday wasn't much better. It's just us.
He has in
just
the finals.
Two biased folks.
Take a look at the latest odds provided by Fox Bet Sportsbook. Wiggins now.
All right, we'll stop it there. So, actually, let's give some Wiggins some love, man.
Ranked 1, 2, 3. Yep, I just wanted to make sure. Third behind Steph and Tatum.
Wiggins doing his damn thing, man. And you know what? Now I'm gonna give Nick Wright some flowers before I get off the stream. He does contextualize what these numbers mean, because as we know, Mr. Numbers Porn himself, he knows all about this aspect of the game. So they're gonna kind of gloss over this, and he's gonna step back in and explain that down, which I'm not gonna lie, it helped me understand it because I don't know nothing about no odds.
Broussard, is there any chance Wiggins can steal Finals MVP from Steph?
All right, let me say this. Right now, Steph Curry's MVP. I don't care. Like Wild said, last night he didn't have a huge game, but he wasn't terrible. Nice passes, 8 assists, and drew attention from the defense. He's still a big factor out there. Who knows what could happen over these next 2 games? If Steph continues to not play as he did in the first 4 games and struggles to some people's view, and Wiggins is phenomenal and it goes 7 and they win, I mean, I guess that's possible. But realistically speaking, no. This is Steph Curry's Finals MVP. And Nick, I feel this way. I think much of the media understands he should have been the MVP in 2015.
Agreed.
And then secondly, they feel bad that the fact that he doesn't have a Finals MVP has been hanging over his head.
And third, yeah, I ain't mad at that, man. Wiggins balling his ass off, man. I ain't mad at that assessment at all, bro.
Head like an albatross. So even if it's close, even if it's a tie, even if Wiggins slightly got better as these last 2 games go on, I think lifetime achievement, they're voting for Steph. So
agreed. There's no way Steph not wins this one. There's no way.
I
How refs say a makeup call? Yeah, this would be a makeup call.
think Steph deserves it, number one, the way things have gone so far, but I think he's going to win it anyway for those reasons I mentioned. And he should.
Look, I think if it were close, you're right, but it is not close. And I can we show those odds again?
Look at your boy, man. He went straight. Damn the nuance. Straight to the numbers. This dude don't fool me, man. This dude does not fool me, man. I'm sorry if I'm picking on him. He don't fool me. I know who he is. I know what he is.
Because I don't want to be pedantic, but I think sometimes we mislead the audience unintentionally because people don't understand math and gambling. What those odds mean is a $100 bet on Steph Curry would net you $25, and a $100 bet on Andrew Wiggins would net you $1,600. So in other words, Andrew Wiggins or Steph Curry is, according to those numbers, 64 times more likely to win Finals MVP than Andrew Wiggins. So no, I don't think there's any chance, and neither do the odds. They just have to list somebody at third, so Wiggins is the guy. Like, this is not a thing that actually can happen. Fairly. Even with the back.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that take as I ended up. So again, you see where he is an expert at is numbers. He can't help himself. You see how confidently he spoke in that? And it was good information because I don't understand stats like that. I'm sorry, odds rather. And so, it was good information to hear, but that's who Nick Wright is. And so when I hear him talk about basketball, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little offended, man. So as this series rounds out, man, I expect another team effort. I think the Warriors will close out in 6. That was my second prediction. My first one was the Warriors in 5. That game 1 loss at home, it made me sit on top of my car and rethink my life. Shout out to Adidas Amero for that. So I had to okay, I got them in 6. So I got the Warriors in 6. I think they close out tonight. I think strength in numbers. Boston is going to play a harrowing effort, man. Brown is going to step up. I wonder what Jason Tatum is going to do because Jason Tatum has been the darling of the media for a long time now. Again, one of my favorite players, but, I reserve that superstar designation. Just because you're putting the Kobe patch on and all that shit, I mean, that doesn't mean you're ready to be Kobe yet. You got to fail a little bit. You know what I mean? Or you got to have someone who's that infinitesimally better than you to help guide you to learn how to win because you're learning on the fly right now. So I do see, game 6 tomorrow. So I got it going for, I'll be flying to Houston tomorrow. So I will probably not be able to stream. Well, I fly early, so we'll see. Okay, so same deal. I got them in 6. I just think the Warriors' experience is going to kick in. They understand they got 2 games to win it, but they know how dire momentum is. And I think that they want to win their 4th championship in 8 years. So I don't see any main issues. I think the Celtics will come out gunning like they have been doing. I expect Tatum to go off. I just expect the Warriors to weather the storm. I think actually Boston may even jump out like a 15-point lead early. They'd be playing at home. You got the moxie up, and the Warriors just slow cut. They call it death by 1,000 paper cuts. I expect that traditional third quarter run, and the Warriors pulling out late, maybe by like 6 or 7 points. So it's going to be a great series to watch come to a conclusion. This is good. This is good for the Celtics, even though I don't think they'll win it, that they are learning their championship pedigree. So now they come back into it the following year. They remember how it was to go against one of the most dynastic teams in basketball history, which is this iteration of the Golden State Warriors. So that's all we got on the stream, y'all. So thank y'all, man, for being a part of it. Y'all hit the like button on the way out. Y'all hit the subscribe button if y'all like what's going on, man. Thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all came pretty deep, and it's always appreciated. And so next time, let's see who we gonna have send us home today. We're gonna have Kendrick Perkins and we're gonna go Kendrick Perkins. So thank y'all, man. Hoop Jargon, I'm out.
Shout out to Hoop Jargon, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoop Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority are all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoop Jargon.
Shout out to Hoop Jargon.